before I started, I was the executive editor of Billboard magazine, and I was trying to think of what could I do that's harder than running a magazine about the music business. No, that's not really the answer. You know, I've always been a passionate music fan. I've always been very interested in technology, and I've been lucky enough to cover them both as a reporter, as a journalist for a long time. And I worked at Wired back in 2002 to 2004. If anyone was to go through, I think, a CNN archive, they'll see me debating Hillary Rosen. And debating, I was on the other side. I thought Napster was a great thing. I thought that it would give musicians a way to go around record companies. They wouldn't need a deal. I thought the internet would empower artists. This might seem like a naive notion. This is what a lot of people believed at the time. We were going to have new forms of art, new opportunities, and all kinds of great new stuff. As the years passed, I started to wonder where all of that went. It seems like we were getting the same stuff cheaper in a way that didn't benefit the people who made it and wouldn't let them do the same kinds of things. You know, it's easy singing doesn't cost much, but to get a great producer costs something. A friend of mine tells a great story. He was at a tech dinner and they said, you know, you can put Abbey Road studios into every single computer on every single desk. And my friend said, sort of elbowed the person next to him and said, where do they put George Martin? It's an interesting thing. What I always say is, you know, when I worked on this book, I had some fantastic equipment. I had a brand new computer and access to all kinds of databases. It didn't make the book that much easier to write. You know, I was still looking at a blank screen. And if any of you are writers or have done any of that, you know, looking at a blank screen is I will spare you my existential angst, but it's just as daunting as a blank sheet of paper. The tools don't do the work. And these tools are great. I'm not down on the tools, but it makes it quicker. It doesn't do it. And it sort of goes back to what you said about distributing the work and doing the work. My book is now available on Kindle, where the cost of downloading it is, you know, transmitting it is almost nothing. I'm happy that I get a royalty from that. Before my book came out in the US, it was also available on a Brazilian website that looked like it also sold farm equipment. I think the farm equipment was kind of a dodge. There was just pictures and there were copyrighted works behind it. I asked a couple people's advice. I might have asked one of you if I sued if I could get a tractor, but that was just a joke, I assure you. And the great thing about Amazon is that I get a royalty that'll let me write another book and let me pay for, you know, that compensate me for my time. The internet's a great way to transmit information. Kindle is great because it compensates me for my time. Now, publishers and Amazon have gone back and forth. They're sort of frenemies. They make each other money. They don't always agree on price. That's a natural negotiation. It's emotionally pitched, but it's a natural negotiation. The site in Brazil, I can't negotiate with. They have no rights to that work. They have no intention of paying me. It doesn't have any of the markings of a legitimate business, and that's what the book's really about. It's not about the person who's downloading my book because they can't afford it. It's about someone else making a business out of my work without my permission in a way that would not pay me to do more work. And I think that's, you know, as we discuss remedies, that's something we need to keep in mind, that that's actually a big problem.